Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of GamesQuestions. So let's get on with this week's updates and the information backers want to know. So I'm going to start off with Vindication this week. This is a UK and EU update. As we mentioned on last week's GamesQuestions, fulfillment is now underway and we started off with the pre-pack orders as once again was mentioned in last week's episode. So the latest update for Vindication is that all of the pre-orders have now been dispatched and the team are now working on the individual orders. There is still plenty of orders to be dispatched, so don't worry if you've not received a dispatch email in the meantime. We'll also look at getting a percentage update out to backers next week, either on next week's episode of GamesQuestions or if you follow our social media channels, we'll try to get a percentage update out to you there. We have a question from Manuel this week who's asking when we will be delivering the retail orders for Vindication. So we don't begin shipping out the retail orders until all the backers' orders have been dispatched first. So they always do come a little bit later than if you had backed it on Kickstarter. However, we do have retailers who also follow the blog. So once Vindication is on fully dispatched, that will indicate to backers and retailers that the retail orders have also now been dispatched. So just keep an eye on the blog in the meantime to follow up progress there. And with that out of the way, we're going to head over to the EU blog first. And just to confirm here today, if you haven't seen it on the blog or across our social media channels, Beast in the EU is now underway. So once your order has been dispatched, backers will receive that dispatch email with tracking information. So just keep an eye out for that in the meantime. We also have news on Seas of Havoc. Seas of Havoc is now fully dispatched, so backers should have their confirmation email along with tracking there as well. Next up, we're going to head over to Isofarian, and I can confirm that just like Beast, Isofarian fulfillment is also under the way in the EU. And it's just same as always, fulfillment can take a few weeks to get everything out, so just keep an eye out for that dispatch email. Okay, next up in the EU we have a question for the Binding of Isaac. So the majority of orders have now been completed. The publisher posted an update on the 5th of May with the next stages of fulfillment and for the people who are missing items. What I'll do on this occasion is I'll just leave a link in the description just in case any of the backers haven't seen that update. Next up we have Star Realms Nova. So there are now 13 remaining orders waiting to be dispatched. Apologies for the hold up with these. The delay has been caused due to a stock transfer. So yeah, there is now, just repeat, 13 orders remaining. So that will still be on fulfillment underway in the meantime whilst we resolve the outstanding orders there. Okay, and last up in the EU this week, we have an update for Vampire Masquerade. As we mentioned in last week's update, we're expecting Vampire Masquerade to start on the week commencing the 15th, more precisely the 18th of May, so a week today. However, the latest update for Vampire Masquerade is that the packaging has been done, so we'll be heading over to final admin checks shortly. So next week I can follow up with further information if fulfillment has started and continue giving you the latest update here at GamesQuestions. So yeah, I believe that's all the latest EU updates there. So I'm going to head over to the UK blog and I'm going to start off with Thunder Road, as Andy has left a question asking when Thunder Road will start. So it's currently in project data analysis and we do have a few additional projects ahead of it in the queue as they are already ready for fulfillment. However, we are expecting this to be shipped out by the end of the month. As I said, there are a few fulfillments ahead of it in the queue. We currently have Vindication and Isofarian underway, and then next week we'll have DC Deck Building and Vampire Masquerade expecting to start. So like I said, there are a few fulfillments ahead of it, but we are expecting it to ship out by the end of the month. I will keep a note, Andy, of your question, and I'll see if I can get further information for next week's episode and possibly provide what fulfillment we're expecting it to run after. So yeah, thank you for your question, Andy, this week, and like I said, I'll keep note of that in the meantime. Okay, next up we have a question from Jesse regarding Sorcery, the Contested Realm. You're requesting an Australian update. I've spoken to the project manager and they are now in contact with our hubs and we're just awaiting confirmation if all the stock has arrived, as this fulfillment in particular has had multiple shipments. Once we receive confirmation, that all the stock is on site, then Contested Realm will be added to project data analysis. So I'd just say in the meantime, Jesse, to just keep an eye on the blog, and like I said, as soon as we have that confirmation, it will of course be moved up to project data analysis. Okay, and next up we're going to head over to DC Deck Builder. As we said last week, we're expecting fulfillment to start on the week commencing the 15th, which is coming up shortly. The team are now at the stage where they will start prepping the picking area, so we're currently moving forward to hit that fulfillment start date. So I'd say in the meantime, just keep an eye on the blog and our social media pages for the latest update there. And last up this week, we have just a comment from Paul, who has said that they're excited for League of Dungeoneers to start. Yeah, we have many backers excited for that one, so I don't have a fulfillment start date just yet for you, Paul. However, just watch this space. And I believe that's all the questions this week on the fulfillment blog. As always, if I've missed out any questions or if anyone needs any further clarification, please drop us a message on our Facebook page, which is at GamesQuest. And as always, blogs will be back out on Tuesday, and we'll be back here next week for Games Questions.